on me, yeah. No escaping from my mind, but low key, you know that you one of a kind. Wanna show me, baby, the things you feel do with that body, yo. Show up everywhere that I be, yo.
What is going on? Samok from Samok Fit, checking in with you guys. You guys are doing well, doing terrific. So, let me know what country you're watching this video from, because that will determine your answer to this question. And the question is, if you show up to a bank and you tell the teller, like, hey, give me all the money in a cash register, or give me all the money in my bank deposit, but you know well you don't have any money in it, I'm pretty sure regardless of where you're from, a lot of people will consider that robbery. But before I get to that question, a weird riddle, as Max is like, what? I promise it will make sense at the end of this video. But first, we got legs. This is my first leg session of this meso, and I'm training with Max. Max is in contest prep right now. We're both hitting legs, doing different movements. But first, of course, we are taking on that BPN flight. First, look in the description. Help your boy out, or keep helping your boy out. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna warm up real quick. Start with seated leg curls, and then we're gonna talk about the topic of this video. Okay, so one thing that you guys might be shocked about when it comes to like my leg training is why are you doing, so let me give you the structure of the training program, or the training plan for today. So we got seated leg curls. From seated leg curls, we're gonna go to leg extension. We just did leg press, sorry. And from leg press, we are jumping into squats. And you're like, whoa, you putting squat as a third movement? Normally, wouldn't you put squat at the beginning of the movement? So because I'm running a lot, and I know sometimes I might not be able to push as much load as possible, it's a strategy I put in place that's gonna allow me to make sure, one, I'm checking myself before I wreck myself. I'm going after stimulus, not a lot of load. So by the time I get to actual leg press, that's gonna check me, because I know I cannot handle as much load as I want to, but I'm gonna be lowering the load. I'm gonna chase in stimulus. That's why I put my squat as a third movement on my leg day. So that might be shocking to you guys. Right, so that's the first set of squats. And if you guys noticed something, if you've been following for a while, you notice that I switch my squat form. I am usually a high bar squatter, but I'm playing with like a low bar squat. Now, in high bar will keep you a little more upright. For me personally, the way my body is aligned, I can stack better. I can drive my knee over my toe better because I am more of a high bar. But I'm kind of putting myself in a position for leverage wise to allow me possibly to push more load, messing around with a low bar squat. Okay, so to the point and to the main topic of this video. Yes, I got fat on purpose. And to the point, the reference that I made at the beginning, back in college, I made a video talking about, you know, talking about strong foods, giving suggestions, and I put a picture, which I'm gonna overlay on the screen, talking about back in college, I got up to 240 pounds. I think now in today's society or fitness space, most people are chasing after quote unquote main gaining or trying to stay straight all year round. And they will look at that picture and be like, whoa, bro, you're kind of chunky. And some people might look at the picture and be like, nah, you're not that big after all. But by the standard of, I think, what a lot of people chase after, right? I mean, in today's fitness world, that might be considered, you let go, you got fat. But at the time, I was getting fat on purpose because all I cared about was to get strong in the gym. Will I do that again? No, I would not. But when I got strong, or when I got to 240 pounds, I can tell you my numbers were up through the roof. Progressively, I was up through the roof. But of course, that has a diminishing return. So what I mean by diminishing return is, it gets to a certain point in time, okay, when do you determine getting fat or being, you know, in that sort of body composition is just a little bit too much. And that's when you need to bring it down. But the whole point I'm trying to make is, gaining fat or massing is looked down upon in today's society. A lot of people want to quote unquote gain. You want to do it the leaner way because you see your favorite fitspo to do it, and I'm telling you that's not the way. Back to the reference I made at the beginning of this video, to a bank and trying to cash out on the money that you never invested on. The reference essentially is you cannot spend a lot of time in beginning on a caloric deficit and you expect yourself to get lean and find new muscle tissue that you never gained or you never put time to invest in, to work in, aka being a caloric surplus, because that's the environment that's going to allow you, one, to gain lean tissue mass, allow you to train hard, and make sure you have enough calories to recover, which is the most important part in terms of training, recovery. That's how you build your lean tissue mass. So another good reference is the homie right here, Max. Max is currently in a contest prep right now, and he spent a lot of time in the massing phase, and now it's that time to do a contest prep because it's spending enough time. So imagine him now trying to cut and get to the end of this cutting phase or contest prep, and it's like, man, I thought I was a lot bigger than I was. But I know he's put a lot of improvement in, one, because I'm his coach, and two, because I know how he trains. I know I have a little more nuance into how he trains and how his last few years have gone. So I know he's put a lot of time to put himself in a position where he can actually gain lean tissue mass. So it's not going to get to the end of the contest prep like, whoa, what happened here? By all means, if you are content with the rate at which you are growing, that's fine. But do not be surprised when you get lean and you figure out, or you spend all these years, the valuable years that you should be spending in the massing phase, you wasted that because you want to maintain and look good. And it gets to the point where you find out 5 years later, like, man, I've wasted so much of time. So the reason why I'm doing this video is, one, to catch you, to make sure you're not wasting your time and you're spending the right amount of time, the needed amount of time in the massing phase that you need to make sure you are putting yourself in a position to actually gain the right lean tissue mass or to improve the physique that you truly want. All right, so in conclusion, what has helped me, I've been training for the last 20 years, and what has definitely helped me is what I've invested back in the, my early years, meaning I was quote unquote fat, which I don't think I was 240 pounds. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but I know the reason why I need to be in that position. And the reference or the context what I give earlier is invest in that bank, invest in that gain, invest being in a fat, quote unquote, a high body fat space, because the overall goal, what you're trying to accomplish, is to put yourself in a position to want to be able to perform well, recover, but most of all, gain as much lean tissue mass as possible. And being fat would definitely do that for you. So to all the young people out there that are struggling, you're like, man, I just want to gain some tissue. One, have patience, and two, embrace massing, embrace bulk, because that is where the gains are. That's where your investment needs to be. Samok known for Samok Fit. If you guys like the video, and if you do, give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.